In the vast, interconnected machinery of existence, there is a rhythm that most of us overlook in our hurry to get ahead, a silent mathematical precision that Ralph Waldo Emerson called the law of compensation. And today, I want to speak to you not as a lecturer, but as a fellow traveler who has finally looked under the hood of the universe to see how it actually breathes. We spend our lives complaining about what we lack, weeping over our losses, and envying the gains of others. Yet we fail to see that the universe is a perfect accounting system, where every debt is paid and every gift is balanced with a tax. This isn't just a poetic idea, it is a cold, hard reality of the cosmos that Emerson articulated with terrifying clarity when he said that for everything you have missed, you have gained something else, and for everything you gain, you lose something. We live in an age of perceived imbalance, where we look at the billionaire, the celebrity, or the lucky neighbor, and think the scales are tipped in their favor. But the law of compensation whispers that the scale is always at zero. Every sweet has its sour, every evil its good. You cannot have the height of the mountain without the depth of the valley, and you cannot have the thrill of the victory without the risk of the defeat. This is the secret rhythm of life that, once understood, turns your anxiety into a deep, unshakable peace. Think about the energy we waste trying to cheat this system, trying to get something for nothing, or trying to avoid the natural consequences of our actions. But the universe is a closed circuit. If you take a shortcut in your character, you pay for it in your peace of mind. If you suffer a great tragedy, you are being prepared for a great strength. Emerson's vision of compensation is the ultimate antidote to the victim mentality that is so prevalent in our modern American culture. It tells us that nothing can be given to you that you have not earned, and nothing can be taken away from you that won't be replaced by a different kind of wealth if you have the eyes to see it. When I look at my own life, and perhaps when you look at yours, you see the scars of past failures. But if you look closer, you see that those failures were the exact tuition required for your current wisdom. The law is always at work. Every excess causes a defect, every defect an excess. If you have too much wealth, you often lose the hunger that creates greatness. If you are born into hardship, you gain the muscle of resilience that the wealthy can never buy. This is the divine balance. We are like a ship that is always being leveled by the sea. You might think you are sinking, but you are actually just adjusting to a new equilibrium. Society tells us to chase the gain and flee the pain, but the law of compensation says they are two sides of the same coin. You cannot flip the coin and only expect the side you like. The great man, the self-reliant soul, is the one who accepts both with a perfect sweetness, knowing that the universe is never in debt to any man. If you do a good deed, the reward is not coming later. The reward is in the doing, in the expansion of your soul at that very moment. If you do a wrong, the punishment is not a future hell. The punishment is the immediate contraction of your being. We are our own heaven and our own hell, and the law of compensation is the judge that never sleeps. In the modern wilderness of 2026, where everything feels chaotic and unfair, this law is your anchor. It tells you that no effort is ever wasted. Every honest hour of toil, every silent act of courage, and every moment of integrity is being recorded in the ledgers of the universe. You don't need to shout your worth to the world. The world already knows, and it will pay you in kind. But you must also be ready for the tax on your success. If you want power, you must give up your privacy. If you want knowledge, you must give up your blissful ignorance. There is no such thing as a free lunch in the kingdom of the soul. When you stop fighting this law and start flowing with it, your life changes. You stop being jealous because you realize that the person you envy is paying a price you might not be willing to pay. You stop being bitter about your losses because you start looking for the compensating gift that always follows. Emerson reminds us that the soul refuses to be recorded in any language but its own actions. You are the architect of your own balance. If your life feels out of whack, stop looking at the world and start looking at your own input. What are you giving? Because that is exactly what you are receiving, even if the currency looks different. The universe is a mirror, and the law of compensation is the reflection. It is the ultimate justice. It means that the thief steals from himself, and the benefactor enriches himself. It means that the only way to have a friend is to be a friend, and the only way to be loved is to be lovable. This isn't manifesting in the shallow sense. This is the deep structural law of reality. It is as certain as gravity and as relentless as time. So stand tall in your own truth. Do your work with all your heart. Trust that the universe sees you. And when the storms come and take something away, don't mourn too long. Just wait, watch, and stay open, for the law of compensation is already on its way to your door with a gift that you didn't even know you needed. It is the only power that balances the world, and it is the only secret you need to live a life of absolute, unshakable confidence. You are part of a perfect system, and in that system you are never forgotten, never cheated, and always, eventually, made whole. Trust the balance, for the balance is the mind of God.